Probably tell you how to get blood.
Oh, I know. Protecting it.
Look at the back.
Oh, that's pretty, that maple.
You didn't get it, I played in middle school. Did you like it when you did? I just learned different.
Never did that,
Yeah.
Still have it.
That expensive. I can't believe that expensive.
Do you have it?
Price of it. Well, at least the finger's still on.
Back to normal.
I don't think it's in
It's
10.
been from New York to Texas for a week of Bible school. Up in the mountains is probably completely out of tune.
No, it, yeah, it's out. That's a lot of it.
Anyways.
Man, that's great.
Man, without leather, I'm scared for it.
There it is.
That's a nice hat.
That's great.
This is from the country. I don't know.
I was thinking something, I got a really pretty bouquet of flowers from Dawn and Becky Northey the other day, and the card said, Joe, she always sends me flowers when I've been sick or something. She says, Joe, I wanted you to be able to look at these and see God's beautiful creation. And then my mind went to music, how we can see God's love and creation in music, harmony, and to think about how much there is about music in the Bible. It's just, so we can see so much about God, not only in flowers, but also in music and harmonizing and things. You know,
It's beautiful.
Doing fire again.
Get a picture of Joe in your belly.
we can do it all in that. I always knew that you guys loved me. I knew that. I didn't know this much.
You would be
Pretty
overwhelmed.
neat.
Ever try, listen up.
You're only not there physically.
That's right.
Really.
That's a good way to put it.
For every one of us you see, there's 10 more that want to come that can't come.
Yeah, we had a bunch down yesterday, me and Dick, and we're down, and Eddie and Patsy came, and we had a really nice visit with them, and down.
And not only that, but this is probably one of the first balls, so there's just nothing going wrong up there.
Maybe that's because I'm not there.
I don't think so.
You're not running around with a shovel?
No.
You're not running
Bobby
around
Shane
with
and I are down there.
with the
Fixing the
sewer pipe thing?
septic tanks?
You got everything fixed up so well before, and that's good
I'll tell you
preparation.
what, we're blessed to have Eddie Brown. I'll tell you what,
Oh, yeah.
Eddie is just.
Eddie.
He's a rock star.
And Blake gave a really nice
Robert,
exhortation last night.
you know, that's another
This
thing I
first
really
year.
missed. I've been so thankful that Robert and Jamie were back, and I
Oh.
wanted to be able to get back with them. You know, I don't need proof. I'm not like the person, like, I don't have to see the water on the sheepskin. I don't have to see proof, but I know that God is working in our eternity. We see different things happening over the last year or so. We saw Tommy and Becky Walker move back from Colorado. We saw Eddie Brown come back to meeting after 20 years of being away. We saw Robert and Jamie come back and bring Hunter and Diana with them.
And the two boys.
Those two boys, those
You
two
can just see
boys
God
were
working
great.
in our community. It's not an accident.
Yeah.
And there's a healing taking place. I hear things about healing taking place as far as places in Florida. I see healing taking place in Colorado. So that's what we need.
A lot of movement.
We'll be ready when the Lord returns.
That's right. He's getting things lined up. That's
And
fine.
I've been so blessed. John has come by and seen me 2 or 3 times here. We have wonderful conversations. We hug each other and we talk about old times. He was going to come today and bring me some grapes from his grapevine. So he said he's going to come tomorrow. So see, there's over. exactly right. Plus I got to play the fiddle today, see?
That's awesome.
Oh, that's the best part.
We're all glad you brought that.
Yeah.
Cute, isn't she?
All week I've been told that I look like her.
And Lord willing, if whenever
She
I get
plays.
back on my feet a little, I still want to come up and see you guys in the summertime.
You're not invited in the winter. I don't wish that on anyone. The hotel is closed. Hibernating.
Even though you do have water and
Electricity.
power.
Have you seen pictures of the place up there? Oh, it's so
No.
beautiful and green and
They
water
won't
and trees.
invite me. I don't know what the deal is.
I do, I'll tell you about it.
And Teddy, and Teddy, when Tate hits 30 stars, then you can come. Okay,
You
past
know.
30 stars.
Cuba is right in our backyard. You've been there, so you
Yeah.
know. She knows.
It is pretty up there. Beautiful,
Oh, it
lush,
is.
green.
Even in its own way in the winter, I can see if you're prepared for it. You'd have to be more prepared than what I am in Alamogordo. But if you were prepared, had the right, given this, he's turned my case over to an oncologist. So we're in the process of having an oncologist appointment with an oncologist. And then I have an appointment with the surgeon. The surgeon left an Albuquerque about a week. He'll just check the wound. We may do an MRI. We may have an MRI. We all have an MRI.
Claustrophobic.
That's where they put you in a tube.
He's taking out the didn't sound like somebody with a hammer.
Wow.
Well, I got a lot of time to think.
Yeah, I think my first time was 1980.
I think you're right.
And
Is
then-
that when you stole my hat?
Yes.
I think so.
And when did you and Judy get married?
1985.
85. So I remember that I had invited y'all to come and stay, and y'all had the U-Haul, but I was at school all day. What time of year was it when you moved?
It was summertime because it was so hot in
It was?
Norfolk. It was hot.
Because anyway, in my mind, I was at school, just I couldn't wait to get home. Maybe not. Maybe my memory is.
I just remember it was really hot when I got off that plane. And I'd never flown on a plane. I was 25 years old. I'd never flown on a plane until Judy didn't fly on an airplane.
Never been out of
Running up to me and she thought I was Annie. And she put her arms around me and then she looked up at me and she realized, that's not Dad. She got this horrible look in her face.
You don't have the same legs.
I'm not showing mine.
Come on, Dan.
Yesterday Dick says, why don't you put some white on those leaves?
I've been working on that for quite a while.
It has to learn new things. It has to develop new, what did they call it?
Neuroplasticity.
Yeah, it has to develop new, because it was weird when I woke up, I tried to move that hand and there that hand was sitting there and you try to move it and I couldn't move it. It's like, it's weird. And then finally, I got to where I could move it up and then finally I got to where I could squeeze it. But it was just strange. Your mind, your brain's telling your hand to move, it won't move. So now this speech therapy is kind of helping me with that.
Radiation in Alamogordo? That's a daily thing.
Yeah, I can figure it out.
You knew someone that lived here.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty intensive. Once a day, 5 days in a row.
For like 3 or 4 weeks, 6 weeks or something.
Imagine 6 weeks.
So you gotta clean up that bathroom back there and that.
All set.
Something that he's been using, and that also the dude's mom and dad used it. So it's like an alternative drug that she was recommending. So I'm open for anything like that, but I want to we decided to talk to the oncologist first, because I don't want him to say, well, no, all this is what I'm going to do for you. This is going to mess you up.
Right. Let's trust the oncologist first.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff out there that people are wanting to make money.
That's right. There's some pyramid schemes out there, so just.
And ultimately, we know it's in God's hands anyway. Whatever's going to happen, it's all in God's hands.
Yes, it is.
And you would think you were straight, and they would tell you so, like center. So they called it left side neglect, where he wasn't even like if I was sitting over here, he wasn't aware, like he wasn't looking.
Don't
It
pay
wasn't
any
wrong,
attention
like,
to anything.
right, and it wasn't like a vision issue. It was the brain connection.
The first speech therapist in Albuquerque, she had me look at this sheet that had animals. She said, name all these animals, Joe. And I started over there. I said, okay, camel, fox. And then I just kind of quit. She said, well, why did you quit? She said, there's all of these animals all over to the left. I said,
That would be so
oh.
weird
So my mind was
to
going,
realize it. Could you see it when she said that? Could you look over and see it? Or?
yeah, they were right there. You just,
Oh, that's weird.
your mind is so weird. It's like when you want to move your hand and you couldn't.
You're watching it not move.
It's strange to the edge of the skull, to where he didn't have to go through a lot of brain tissue to get to it.
So it wasn't deep into the brain.
That one, yeah. So he was able to do some of that.
That's a blessing.
And then he told me, he said, Joe, if this was in the 20s, he said, the treatment back then would have been to go in and get out, try and get everything out, which he said you'd never be able to. He said, then I would leave you either dead or crippled, and you'd die anyway. So he said, they've come a long ways with.
You don't know what it does for all of us to see you up and talking to us and looking so
Right.
good. It is, you just don't know how that, well, you do, you know.
Playing the
but
violin.
just
I know what
telling
it's
you.
doing to me, having you guys here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Same
great.
old joke.